Oh,
Hi, everyone.
hello, hello. Happy Wednesday.
We are back, and the Knicks are champions.
Woo, you called it. You heard it here first, folks.
Heard it here first. Never wavered from the start. It
No,
was their year 53 years later.
I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I mean, a lot to discuss today, especially being out from Miss last week. How's
I
Bend?
know. Sorry, everybody. Bend was great. Always love being up there. Going to go back up for the fourth. Interestingly enough, even in the winter, it still feels warm, even if it's sunny. It's high desert is the
Yeah.
climate. So it's if a 32-degree, 35-degree sunny day there feels like 60. It's just
Oh,
so nice. But for
so
whatever
nice.
reason, it was so windy. And like for the first time, it was like kind of cold feeling, had a couple days
Oh,
of rain
really?
again, which was nice, but it just wasn't like normal because everything to do is basically outside. So if it was windy and unpleasant, it was a little bit of a different speed, but it's okay. Go
I was
back
gonna
and
say
try it
wind is
again.
my least favorite weather type, so hopefully
It
you stay
messes
warm.
everything up. Like, it
My
literally
head
messes
hurts.
Yeah,
I'm red.
exactly.
Like it's
Yeah,
just
it's
it's
uncomfortable to
horrific.
walk outside or sit outside, yeah. And then if it's not
100%.
sunny, it, drops the temperature by, like, 15 degrees.
Well, I saw one of your pictures that looked really pretty. You had the snow on the mountain in the background, right? And there was like some water. Am I making this
Yes,
up?
it's
Okay,
Elk
there
Lake.
we
Yeah,
go.
no, there were definitely some, like,
You gave me a
normal
weird face. I was
days.
like, you posted that,
Yeah,
right?
no, I did, yes, Elk Lake, that's one of my favorite little spots, it's
Okay.
so nice, it's just yeah, a little lake up on the backside of the mountain, and, um, since the snow was so light this year, Oregon, first of all, has already declared, like, state of emergency for wildfires this season, not a
I
good
saw
sign,
it. Yeah.
but the snow melt just isn't that much, so all the levels of the rivers and stuff and the lakes are just so low. Um, just like anywhere else if it doesn't rain, but it was just I've never seen it that low, but
Well,
hopefully
yeah,
not
these
many
wildfires.
fires.
I was going to say California. I just saw one that was close to my house in Camp Pendleton. So fingers crossed it doesn't.
I know they're already starting in
It's a
Washington
little
and Oregon.
early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So, we
well,
will see, but
hopefully
yes.
Bass keeps the waters filled. Sorry. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah, exactly.
It's a joke.
Oh my gosh. I had to laugh at that, Jimmy Kimmel comment to Spencer Pratt saying, "You said if you lost, you were done with LA and you were gonna lose or you were gonna leave, and there was nothing left here if you didn't win." He's like, "So we'll happily pay for your U-Haul." And Spencer Pratt, like, clapped back and was like, "You must have missed my message. I don't have anything to back up. I don't need a U-Haul."
Any spans his just burnt to toast freaking house and there's nothing left. Yeah. So I that guy's a loser. I freaking hate Kimball.
That was so
Jesus.
wild. Anyways, but yeah, hopefully no more fires. But the New York Knicks
Whew.
got their
Back.
champions parade tomorrow. They're back. Just talking to my dad has his friend Big Rob that is from
Big
the
Rob.
Bronx. Big Rob, yeah, lived in like bounced around, but lives in the city. And we were
Okay.
talking to him, and he was just like, "I have never seen the city like this. Like everyone's being friendly, crime's at the lowest rate it's been like in history. Of everyone smiling and talking to each other, and just that it was the best atmosphere." Which you've heard, which you hear, and everyone was like, repeatedly said it, and we touched on it before, but it really is, I think great for the city. I just, yeah, um, love to see it.
No, I will say I think they won due to just the energy from the fans and the environment. Even obviously they won here in Texas, but it was I don't know. I feel like their fans won up to the Texans over here. Do you have anything to say
And they
about
just
that?
travel so no, I agree, and I think they just travel so well. I was in my mind, I'm thinking, "Okay, if I was a Knicks player, of course you're gonna wanna win in New York," but they weren't gonna come here and, lose a game just to have the opportunity to go back to New York, but they're OG fans, they travel well. I mean, Timmy and Ben Stiller, which it cracks me up that he's working on his documentary, holding his phone
Did you
basically
see
the entire
that?
time. Yeah. Um,
Next to Taylor Swift.
Tracy Morgan. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We've got to break all of that down because I just cannot with that. But um, we're gonna add to our stats, we've got a couple more of these today, but most watched NBA finals since 98, which is back in, like, the Jordan days. Pretty good.
Everything is the most watched these days.
Everything is the most watched, but I've gotta say, I think there was just so much hype around it, and obviously Wemby and the
Yeah,
kinda notion around the Spurs and overall they're well-liked. I mean, both teams are well-liked, whether you're a
yeah,
fan or you're not a fan, they're not teams that it's like, ugh, um, like the
yeah.
Lakers or something where it's, like, so polarizing or Cleveland
Divisive,
or
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
No,
Um
that is true.
I just can't believe this. I mean, the Spurs were favorites. They were winning 72% of the series and they still lost. I mean, part of me really felt bad for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I didn't really have any skin in the game for either team, but they both played hard. I think at the end of the day, I think the Knicks looked a little better, but
They did. They're just more polished, more
yeah.
established, older. The Spurs will
Mhm.
have their time.
Yeah. They're
Um,
all younger and
I mean,
thing
it's like
and
even
Wemby,
having
what, 2nd year or whatever? So it's
exactly.
like,
And I mean, just yeah, but weird wild start to begin with for the road team losing
oh
Um,
gosh.
or road team winning the first 4 games
First,
had
yeah.
never been happen have had never happened before. I mean, just so many things that were just kind of interesting about the series. And then Spurs again, they were winning so much of the time, and for them to just lose, I mean, it had to hurt a little worse than just a loss, and getting crushed. I mean, the games were so close. I mean, 2 of the games were by 1 point, always coming down to the end. But I mean, Spurs are my Texas team, like we said,
That's
and I
just
know
that's what I happy
the other
too,
day
you
my
know,
brother was making fun of me.
woo,
I'm like,
but
imagine like Lauren's 2 favorite teams are in the finals again, like whatever that is, it's like her 2 favorite teams, and which is not the case. But these really actually are. I've
she's
always
a
stuck to
fleeting
my
fan.
Knicks. Yeah, exactly. Me and Taylor. But Texas, the Spurs are obviously my Texas team, and then New York is just my real team. But um I just hated to see him and Wemby after the game in his interview, he's like, "Appreciate y'all, see y'all never." He was so
Yeah.
upset.
He seemed I so, I saw these memes about him and, like, how he was a poor sport and stuff. I was like, "Oh, I don't know," but obviously he's very passionate about it and should
Very
be, but
passionate about it and does seem like a good guy. He's, like, so upset he
yeah.
has to wait another 100 games to be back. He's
Yeah.
like, "But that's what I'm gonna have to do." But I can't get over those fouls. I mean, they started obviously calling on both ends tighter for the, last 2 games, but that one call that Wemby didn't get a flagrant when he, like,
Oh,
shoved, you know, his head down, like, that was a little bit aggressive.
yeah.
There were a couple
Refs
of
can
things that were a little rough on his end.
I was gonna say refs can definitely, change the trajectory of an entire game, being good or bad, but yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Yeah, there is just a lot going on. But Brunson, Bridges, and Hart, they won the Villanova or national
That is
championship at
crazy.
Villanova. Yes, in 2016. Now, 10 years later, 2026, the NBA national champions. I mean, that's so amazing and so
I
cool.
mean, talk about finally, geez, 10 years it took? No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. But
For
for
them to
all
be
them to
on the
end
same
up on
team.
the same
Yeah,
team, exactly, and all
that's
the moving pieces and, having, again, grown up in different paths and end up at Villanova and then I mean, it's really, really special.
no,
And still
agreed.
funny to think of, obviously, the Pope and Villanova and all that whole, thing, and then San Antonio with their Spurs, and then comes down to this, but
Full circle.
full circle. Um, I just really liked a lot of players on the court on both teams, and I think that that's what it made it more enjoyable to watch too. And I know we're not really NBA fans until the finals, like we said, and so much of it is like, flopping and like politics and refs and just like too much. But I just felt like this was kind of for the most part clean competition and you respected a lot of the players on both sides. And again, could be because I genuinely like both teams. But
Yeah.
Brunson is just unbelievable. His 45-point
Mm.
legendary performance, only second player to do it other than Michael Jordan, who did it in 1998. Um, when he was playing for Utah, like he's literally the one that kept it together for the Knicks and pulled him back when they needed to.
100%. I thought that was cute, the Kimmel video you sent me.
Mhm.
That
And he just seems like the nicest guy, and then the
Yeah.
ad that Nike put out, I thought was so good with Billy Joel, New York State of Mind playing in the background, and he's
Oh,
running
yeah.
up to Times Square, like, as a younger boy, and then he gets to and then he sees his, name everywhere and Knicks and Billboard and, it was like never slept, just so perfect, so Nike, so on point. I thought it was so, so well done.
Nike's making a comeback. Come on, baby.
It was a good mark. And then did you see James Dolan's speech before the playoff? It didn't come off or before the playoffs started, but they didn't release the video until after the Knicks won, or maybe they had and I just hadn't seen it. Did you
Oh,
see it
no.
at all?
No, I didn't. What was
So
it?
he's just like the most genuine, nicest, calmest man to begin with. He just seems like a lovely New Yorker.
Yeah.
And
Lovely
he's
New Yorker. That's a
yeah, and
it's
I
a
know,
funny
oxymoron for
funny
some.
sentence. Yeah.
But it was just basically how he believed in them. He's like, "You're gonna remember this the rest of your lives. It's gonna take some sacrifice, but I believe, we're the best team in the NBA. I think we can beat every other team." And then at the end, he's like, um if we get our ring, we're gonna make sure that your wives, girlfriends, significant others, partners, get one too because they're gonna be instrumental in this championship. I thought that was so nice. And so he's like, "So you let them know if they help you get there and they're gonna have to, deal with your, routines and everything
Yeah.
else, support." And then he's like, "I think most of you have one." He's like, "But if you don't, find one in the next few weeks that's gonna be with you till the end and they're gonna get a ring." It was just so sweet and so kind of heartfelt, like nothing like over the top yelling and screaming, trying to
Yeah.
like, pump them up. It was just kind of even toned and
We're
I
all in
thought it
this
was a great
together.
message. And now they get their rings.
There. Hell yeah. Turned out well.
Turned out well. But these fans, I've got to say, for a Knicks fan and supporter in the city being so nice, what is wrong with these fans? There were like 63 people arrested, like 4 stabbings, a shooting, taking buses apart, lighting things on fire. Like, how does that
Are
equate
we
to
surprised?
celebrating? I mean,
Oh,
yes, a little bit because you'd think that everybody's so happy. Like, that's when I'm just like, okay, these people are just gonna cause trouble, and they're not like the real fans. Because the
well,
real
that's what
fans
I'm
are not doing
saying.
that. These are like hoodlum,
Yeah. There's always
young,
them.
just kids that think it's the fun thing to do or an excuse to do it.
It's an excuse, I think, what it is. And obviously, New York, it does have some ghetto parts, as
Mhm.
we're aware, but there's always some people that ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately,
I just
that's
hate
society.
I know, but I just hate it, and of course, Dave Portnoy was absolutely ripping. He was ripping on, first of all, the
Perfect.
celebrities and
Everybody.
how much
Yeah,
he
he
hates New
was.
York. I mean, he's a total Boston guy, but I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, you're gonna hate on Spike and everybody else?" Like, I was first time I didn't like what he said, but his point was, are the Knicks the most likable team with the most unlikable fans?
Fans. Oh my
I'm like,
god.
"Okay, well, if you saw what was going on after, again, take the courtside people aside, I mean, yeah, that's but also it happens everywhere. Although I had commented when San Antonio was partying in San Antonio, they were just happy, Mexican, La Familia, just
La
like there was
Familia.
it was peaceful. Like they were celebrating, it
Yeah.
was peaceful. So I do agree that New York kind of took a turn, but I also I think Boston would have the same response, like teams that are that passionate and that, I don't know. But
It's there's always somebody or there's always some crowd, I guess, that takes it to another level, which is not fun. But
I guess so. And why was Prince Harry there? I was so confused.
you sent me that video of him walking in, and then all the comments were like, "So, like, what team
Well,
is
like,
he rooting
what
for?
team are
Why is
you
he
on? Yeah,
there? Yeah, like,
exactly. Like, are you a
what's the
Knicks
point of
fan?
you
Like, do you
there?"
show up to
Yeah,
Lakers games too? Like, I have no
uh,
idea, but he did show up
it's like a
alone,
publicity
so that
stunt.
was nice. Yes. And then I did see that it was something else that was in San Antonio that he was working with. So I think it was like uh it could have been at one of the Air Force bases or something with people that had been injured. So he was there for doing charity thing. You're right. There's probably something behind it, and maybe it just overlapped, and he was like, "I'll go to the game," which
Might
nothing
as
wrong with
well
it. But
pop
it's
in.
just, yeah, I guess. But I thought it was just so funny to like of all again. You kept seeing the same people and like Kylie and Timmy and Spike and whoever, Fat Joe, but like you never. And by the way, Michael Dell was sitting courtside, and I was like, "Okay, you rarely see him sitting courtside," and he obviously has New York ties, and,
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, maybe he's a Knicks fan," and then I looked it up, he owns 10% of the Spurs. I didn't know that.
I mean, are we shocked?
I mean, no, I'm not, but I also think that's kinda cool that he keeps it kinda so down low and he doesn't, like, insert himself as, like, the face of sports or whatever. I mean, he's just such a
Yeah,
cool,
such
low-key
investor. Yep.
guy, in general. Um, but anyways, I thought that was interesting, and then there was just so much based around the fans, which again, I think helped with the energy all around, but then Trump, of course, got roasted that it was the only
Oh
game the
god,
Knicks
that they
lost when
lost.
he
Yeah.
showed up, and then there are all
Too
those
much of a
pictures of him, like,
distraction.
nodding off and, like, sleeping, which I don't doubt he was sleeping, he doesn't even sleep
No.
in real life, I
Yeah,
don't think, but, um
he doesn't
kinda
drink
cool
coffee
that he
or
went,
alcohol
why
either.
not? Like, he does obviously have very New York roots. The last president to attend, final was Obama, who's obviously a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought that the disruption was gonna cause more of an uproar, just security and getting in and traffic, but it seemed like after the fact, you didn't really hear much about that. It was more just about they lost
They
while he
lost,
was
yeah.
there.
It was I mean, I love to see it, love to support his obviously team. He has deep New York roots. I feel
Yeah.
like, he's built multiple towers there and has done business there his entire career. I saw Kai too, his, granddaughter. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's just so fabulous
So
and
cute
cute,
and
and she
so great.
looks so grown up post-grad, like high
I
school graduation.
know.
She got her hair a little blonder. I mean, she's
Yeah.
gonna turn into such a classy,
I
golfer.
totally
Love to
agree,
find
and
her.
I think that it's so cool she's just, like, his little ride or die, like, she goes everywhere with him, and I get
It's
that
like,
it's age and
"Grandpa!"
everything else, and obviously Ivanka
Yeah,
has her kids and just different things going on, but she's, like, right in that sweet spot to go along with him, and I think it's so cute.
yeah, that's it's like, "What are you doing this summer, Kai?" And she's just like, "Following the president
Following my
around." So
yeah,
good for
right,
her.
and just the fact that she calls him grandpa and, like,
Yeah.
just yeah. You'd think that he of all people would want a different name than grandpa, and,
Yeah, like
I think it's just
Peepaw,
so
I don't
cute.
know, like something cooler, but no,
Yeah, I
grandpa.
know, just, yeah, something, but it's great. And then Taylor Swift, game 4.
I love her, but, like, girl, you are not a sports gal, like, get the frig off the courtside seats
And the
with your
2
little
girls,
Stevie
the
Nicks
sisters
shirts.
that she was with are, like, actually big Knicks fans, so it, like, gave a little bit more credit, but I'm like, after you've already been in Cleveland with,
Rooting.
uh
Yep,
right, with Travis Kelce, and again, at least she came without him, I think that was probably a better move, but they're
he was
just, like,
probably
jumping up
pissed.
and
Yep.
down and, like, the cheering, and I get being excited, but something about it to me was just like, ugh, everything is always just so dramatic and so, like, overdone, almost like a little bit again, childlike, which I
Well,
say to her.
I saw a clip of them, and she was, like, totally cheering and, like, totally, like, acting goofy and everything, and they
Mhm.
were down, and it was like
Right. I know, but then on the flip side to that, people are like, "Oh, well, Taylor was behind him the whole time and knew that they were gonna rally back and win, and she never let him down." So, I mean, there's a little bit of all of it, but yeah, they were
I
into
don't
it to
know.
say the least. But then
Who
I
was
just
the
don't know if
person
it's like
next to them
it was oh,
that they
it
gave the
was
shirt to eventually? Do you know? I don't know.
oh, what's her last name? Like Hargitay, is that who it was?
Yeah,
Hargitay? Me yeah,
Mish
Misha
yeah,
Hargitay, yeah.
I don't know.
And she's a big, big Knicks fan, like, always has
Yeah.
been, close with Jalen Brunson, like, she had this show going on in the city, and she literally was like, "I finished my show and, like, ran because I knew that I needed to make the game," and she, like, wore these, Kobe shoes that Brunson had given her, just, kinda cool, but, yeah, those are the real ones, so I don't know. I mean, again, you can't hate Taylor Swift for being who she is and what she's done, but
She just doesn't
I
have a
just
cool
wonder what they all
factor.
think. Right, it's just not like a yeah, exactly, that's exactly it. And then paying $3 million or whatever to rent out Madison Square Garden for their wedding. Like, that's gonna be the least intimate thing I can imagine unless they completely transform it, which obviously on top of just getting the space is going to take millions of dollars to do. Um
Wait, so is that where they're? Because I kept seeing these rumors that somebody was like, "Oh, Taylor Swift, like, paid me to take my venue for that weekend, that specific weekend." It was, like, some East Coast, like,
Mhm.
beach town, I don't even know, but then I started seeing all these things about Madison Square Garden, they're saying, "Oh, they're not even gonna give her a discount,"
Yeah, paying,
and
like,
all
the
this stuff.
actual rate, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Are they actually, like, walking down the aisle in Madison Square Garden?" Like, I
That's
don't
what I
get it.
I'm curious too, and I guess all the invitees they called and there's like, massive NDAs in place, but then I also saw that they were maybe gonna let fans attend and pay. I don't that's the dumbest thing I've
What?
ever heard too. Why would you, like, let fans pay to attend your wedding? But
Well, all
that
the
could have just
news
been
yeah, all the news I'm seeing right now is, "Oh, they so and so didn't get an invite, so and so didn't get an invite."
mhm.
So if they're literally gonna have people pay to attend their wedding, I don't understand that, but
I'll
yeah.
be curious, and I'm sure people just speculate and things get out there, but it does sound like that's actually the location, and I read yesterday that they're having a stage built, from some, set production place in Pennsylvania, and of course, she would be the best person to know the ins and outs of that, of how to,
Yeah.
like, prop herself up how she wants to be propped up in the middle of Madison Square Garden, but I really cannot wait to see, and I think it's allegedly in July. Is
I was
that
gonna
right?
say, do we have a date? Do we have,
I
like,
don't
some
know, but
timeline
I
here on when I can
cannot
expect to
wait
see
to
pictures?
see. I know, I know. Um, I will be very, very curious. But I mean, think about it. Between both of them, I think it would. Last I saw was like thousands of guests, which you would need a place like that to hold that.
I just, like, I try to picture, obviously, she's, like, a whimsical type, like,
Mhm.
girl.
Like
I'm, like,
fairy
trying to ma
tale, yeah.
yeah, 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 trying to imagine, like, how they would transform Madison Square Garden
Right.
into that type of
Yeah.
unless she's gonna, like, make a stage, she's gonna perform, and it's gonna be some, like, bullshit perform I don't know, like, I could see that's how I'm saying if
I
fans are
don't
gonna
know.
pay to see the wedding, like,
Or
she,
sometimes I
like
mean, it would still be massive no matter how you cut it up, some arenas are get, like, split for certain shows or events or whatever, and then it's almost like you don't even know the other half is there because it's they put
then
a
why rent the
divider
whole
in
thing
with
out?
I don't
Useless.
know, but if they're having thousands of guests, I mean, I don't know what else you would where else you would go to hold for a ceremony like that. I don't know. I will be really very, very curious.
Edge of my seat, Lauren, edge of my seat over here, so let's see how it transpires.
Yeah. And then did you see a little bit off topic, but the wedding at I'm probably going to butcher the name, but Mont Saint Michael Abbey in Normandy. It was this like first wedding there in 1,000 years or more. Um, and the guy is named Mario Ho, and he's 31 now, but at 30 he became the youngest owner in the NBA. He's part owner of the Celtics. And then the wife is Ming Shi. I've never had heard of her. She's beautiful. But it looked like AI. Like when I started seeing the
I've seen
pictures
yeah.
pop up in Vogue and everywhere, I was like, this is not real.
I mean, well, you sent it to me because I had no idea who any of these people were or what it was, but looked it up. It did look very fake, look very AI. They were just that picture perfect. Again, those Asians, perfect skin. They look youthful. The wedding I heard was, yeah, the first time I've heard first time they've ever had a wedding there. So
Mhm.
they had to wait like a year to get all the permits and like apply and do all this, fabulous stuff. It was like a 30 million plus wedding. It looked absolutely insane. I want that aesthetic, but I don't wanna pay
Well, when I saw,
$30
like, the
for my
castle
wedding.
on the top again, it literally looked like AI, like, the photos were
Yeah.
incredible, and, yeah, I think her dress was Dior, like, everything was, like, so beautiful, but $30 million for a wedding, like, I don't care how much money you have, why would you spend $30 million on a wedding? And he also,
I
like,
don't know.
a very wealthy, billionaire family they're obviously Chinese, but they're, casino
It's like
tycoons in China, and then he
okay.
came to MIT, and I guess Celtics are the team that he had was the only team he had interest in, and, the ownership group really liked him. Didn't even watch much
Like,
basketball,
to him
but
or his money.
saying all that to say, like, I don't care how many billions and billions of dollars you have, $30 million on a wedding, like, I guess you have some
Crazy
good
Rich
photos,
Asians.
but
Have
yeah,
you seen the movie?
exactly. I
Jesus.
sure have.
That one
Um
that one got me crying, so the water, like, comes out, in the movie when she has her wedding, but
So
it's,
funny. Yeah, it's
yeah.
a real thing, but good for them. It was beautiful. Just so interesting. I had never heard of either one of them. And I guess she's a top model in China.
Top model. She looks it. She looks
Ish.
fabulous. She looked killer in her dress. That dress is just absolutely stunning. So, yeah.
It really did.
I'm gonna make like
There you go.
a
How you can start some of your
wait,
Pinterest or
cheaper
Pinterest or
version.
like inspo boards, vision boards. There we go. That's the word.
gonna say, Maria, my wedding planner, I'm gonna start sending her all their wedding aesthetic and see if she can make it,
'Make it come to
100
life.
times cheaper.
Speak to you in Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of owners, this is, like, so random, but obviously Elon Musk, like, first trillionaire ever,
Oh my god, fucking legend.
legend, but one of the things that came out was, like, he could own every single major sports league team with his net worth and, like, still have whatever left over. Like, every single team in every single league. Like, it's unbelievable.
You could hate the guy, love the guy, but you gotta respect that. Like, that is an anomaly in this world, Like, just absolutely insane to think about.
It's insane. Yeah, it's wild and good for him and just again, he's not as eccentric as he is. He's really not he's over the top with his thoughts and his way of thinking and all of that, which has obviously gotten him to where he is. He's just
He is
brilliant.
now, yeah.
But you don't hear, he's not doing outlandish things, which I respect.
Yeah, well, he's gotta be a little bit on the spectrum, right, to be that incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
Uh, did you see the one of his trans daughter? I'm blanking on his or her name, but she was talking it was my first time listening to her actually speak, and she was talking to reporters, had just landed in Ibiza or something,
Mhm.
that a brand or somebody had flown her out there, and she was like, "Well, I couldn't mess up on this opportunity," and then they mentioned her I think it was right when her father had or right when Elon, right when he became a trillionaire, and she had, like some reporter asked about him, and she, like, caused a scene and, like, walked away so abruptly, and it was just, like, I don't know, like, I would have a little bit more respect for if my father did something that incredible these
Right?
days.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's hate it I kinda hate him right now, but it's kinda you gotta respect it, Jesus."
You have to exactly. Yeah, like how can you not?
Yeah.
Um, Pretty remarkable. My brother was actually there in New York for the IPO.
Oh,
Um,
how was
yeah,
it?
he said it was just super, like, just amazing and
Energy was
incredible and
high.
just energy. Yeah, exactly. And then all the, billboards and screens and not, they're not billboards, but screens and,
Yeah.
Times Square were the rockets and just, it was super cool. Their
Wow.
banking team wears these Nike Air Force Ones, that say
Oh.
they're green with, like, SpaceX on it, and these four-leaf clover, I guess, means something. I'm guessing, like, yeah, kinda lucky.
Oh my god.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, he said it was just unbelievable.
I remember I was talking to him when we went for your birthday, dinner, and he was telling me all about the little town in Texas that's all SpaceX, and it's like a
Yeah.
little community, and I was like, "Would you ever move there?" And he was like, "No."
Yeah, he's like, "Go
No.
there for work, and that's about it."
Sounded a bit incestuous, so I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Um Well, what else do we have going on? Okay, this whole Texas Tech and Brendan Sorsby gambling fiasco, what are they thinking?
I don't know.
I mean, gambling in college is illegal, and then Tech says that they're gonna just keep playing him, and the judge ruled against them, saying that he could continue playing. Then everyone was up in arms, and the Big 12 said they wanted to discipline Tech for wanting to play him, like, filed a federal lawsuit against Tech and Ken Paxton. Um, just so insane. And then now he says he wants to enter the NFL supplemental draft. Like, what in the world is even that? Like, it's
I
not,
don't know what any of that means. Yeah, like, these
I
rules,
mean,
injunctions, and everything, like, they're all over the place. It's not, like, universal at all.
at all. And if this was on the flip side, I mean, Texas Tech's already getting roasted for, like, all kinds of things. And that donor that just tries to throw out, money and was trying to buy out Texas's first game and Tech's first game so they could play each other because of something Sark said. And then
It's so
Sark,
crazy.
it's crazy. And then Sark joked about this, and he was like, "The way these injunctions are going, Pat Mahomes may be playing quarterback for Tech up again before Joey's done."
I
It's
did see
so
that. I
good.
was like, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked with
Yeah.
just all the rules and all the players. And I mean, different point, but I was on Instagram and obviously, Mendoza graduated from UCLA or
Mhm.
from Berkeley, not UCLA, but Berkeley. And I was like, Wait, I thought it was Indiana. Didn't he just win for India? I'm so confused. And then it was his MBA and like not his bachelor's. And I was just all these rules. I don't get it. I can't follow it. It's just
It's
crazy.
so confused. I just don't know, like, what the judge was thinking, first of all. Like, the rules are pretty clear, about gambling and college, and it's
And
always been
college. Yep.
such a big thing and is part of one of the things that's always, like, on their docket to try to, like, figure out, like, what is okay and what's not. Um, but, I mean, if UT was doing this and Tech was on the other side, that
Mm-mm,
donor would be all over it, trying to,
mm-mm.
like, tear him apart and rip him down, and then, just to quietly make it like, "Okay, well, his exit's gonna be go to this NFL supplemental draft and see what happens." Like, that'll be interesting in itself. Like, I've never even heard of somebody getting through that process well, but
Couldn't
I
agree
guess if
more.
it's his only his option and it kinda quiets everything down, but it's just gonna raise a lot more eyes and ears and rules, but always something. Serena, poor Serena, it makes her come back at Queen's Club, and then her partner had to withdraw from a injury that she got in singles. It was like a knee injury. I mean, way to go! Like your
I
poor
was
debut.
I know, I was like, "Oh my god, of course this is happening." I saw that, I was just like, talk about losing the momentum here."
I know. I really did feel bad for her, but then she and Venus just got a wild card to play doubles together at Wimbledon, which is awesome. Like that's even
That's
better to me.
crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably more exciting, it's gonna bring a lot more viewership.
Right. First of all, it's Wimbledon. Second of all,
Yeah,
it's the first time they've played together in over 10 years.
crazy.
Um, Serena hasn't been there in, 4 or 5 years. So I think that that's going to be
How do you think their
her
chemistry will
win.
be? Like, do you think they're, like, competitive with each other? I don't know, like, I feel like just I don't know. I don't know how having a sister is in the first place, but I feel like there would be a lot of emotions.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to play with a sister. But I think they've, done it for so long and grown up
Yeah.
together. They know each other's games and they know each other's strengths and weaknesses and probably will just try to, balance it and in some way have fun. I mean, they're at this point, they're not doing it for money.
Money
They're
or
doing, I mean,
status. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, but I hope they do well. That'll be kind of interesting to follow. And then this trend
100%.
you're a dog person, but there all these
I
players
don't know
wanna
if
bring
that's a
their
good thing.
No, I'm just saying, like, what do you like, what I'm curious what your take is on it because it's obviously such a trend now, Sabalenka and her little puppy, then Zverev, who just won the French, brought his dog on the court after winning. Mira Andreeva, the girl that won the women's final, she brought her dog out. So, prior to Wimbledon, the All England Club has already put out this strict policy that service and security pets are the only ones allowed at all to, like, keep things traditional, which I get. Like, why are we having puppies run over all the course and, like, why are you bringing I don't know. I'm not a dog person, so I don't know. But, like, like, I don't know, would you carry your dog on the court but you probably might. You take your dog everywhere.
I
I know.
100% would, so I hate to, rain on your parade of a
Rufus lives the life. Rufus gets to go everywhere.
she has a fabulous life. No, she's a service dog, but I do think there's a time and a place. I respect whenever we go golfing at a nice country club, like, I won't bring her. I don't want her,
Mhm.
shitting and peeing all over the course. That's, like, pristine. But I don't know. I also think of, like, take F1, you got Charles Leclerc and little Leo and bringing their dog everywhere. I just like
But
if
I
the
feel
dog's
like
well
that's a little
trained.
different. Yeah, that's a little I mean, it's so loud and it's not, like,
Yeah,
quiet. Like, tennis is such, like, a
fair.
quiet and reserved, like, the other day I saw a little video of, Sabalenka training and her dog was, tied up to the net post
So doing
and,
a little
like,
bark
barking
sesh?
and, like, jumping. Yeah, exactly, and, like, I would to me, that would be distracting, not only for her practicing, but you'd think if somebody was on the court next door, like, that would be a little bit distracting. Like, F1, you're right, that dog is perfectly, flawlessly groomed and trained and, like, not doing anything, and if it barks, the worst that's gonna happen is no one's gonna hear it because it's
Yeah,
F1 and there's a million people, and I don't know, I just feel like for tennis and like you said to golf, I just feel like
yeah.
it doesn't like, I just think it's the funniest thing that now it's, like, a trend for and they're all small dogs, like, I'd like it if they came out with, like, their Rottweilers or something,
Oh,
like,
that ruins the aesthetic, Laura.
may
Like,
show something a little more fierce than their little
the
puppies, but
they're
I guess I don't
little
know.
they're little, what's the everybody loves, like, the little wiener dogs or the dachshunds, I feel like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
has these
Dachshund,
days.
I think that
Yeah.
yeah, and then Sabalenka, I think hers is I think a King Charles Spaniel, which I do think are
Okay.
cute.
Oh, they're
But
like little prince and
so
princess
cute.
dogs,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, again, I do think there's a time and a place if you're distracting others with your noisy dog, maybe leave him or her at home, even though I do love dogs, and Rufus comes everywhere with me, but she doesn't hit the nice courses with me. We don't claim service dog at that point in time.
Right. Well, and also, like, I guess the dogs were, like, going through the locker rooms and, like, going in, like, the training facilities, and that also adds another level of, like, kind of cleanliness. Not everyone likes
Yeah,
dogs or if they
that's
shed or I
totally
don't know,
fair.
I'm just, like, speculating, but I just feel like it is, like, a cleanup thing too, or, like, having to deal with, I don't know, accidents or where do you take them outside? Then the grounds people have more work to do and it, can
Yeah.
smell. I don't know.
Well, I also
But
feel like tennis, there's a lot of Europeans, obviously, that play, and America has shockingly adapted to dogs a lot faster than the
so
rest
dog
of the world.
friendly. Yeah.
So and that's one of the things, like, obviously, we're getting married in Ireland, and we're going through the process of having to get Rufus, microchipped, and, she's gotta
Mhm.
get a rabies shot, like, there's a whole process, she's gotta get a little doggy US passport, basically. But they just started allowing other dogs to, come into Ireland and
Oh,
things like that,
interesting.
so I feel like the rest of the world's kinda slowly adapting to it as
Yeah.
well, which may completely shift everything, but
Mhm.
yeah, the dog
They'll
I
be
I remember
global,
even taking to, Rufus
worldwide
to
dog
like, to
travel.
they're gonna have planes that solely
Yeah,
only
if
allow
only for dog yeah,
dogs.
exactly.
I was at Perry's the other day, and we had Rufus, obviously, and we were sitting out on, like, the back pa or, like, there's that little patio area,
Mhm.
and these people were from South Africa sitting next to us, and they're like, You're allowed to bring the dog in here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, we're outside." And they're like, "That's" and they were doing this with their hands like crazy, and I was like, "No, no, sorry. So, do you mind?"
But
I
I
felt
also do feel like, yeah, it probably shocks people to see them.
yeah,
But if they're not bothering or, like, Rufus just sits in your lap for the most part or, like,
mhm,
stays in your bag and, like, doesn't come out. It
exactly.
drives me nuts in some ways how dog friendly and patio friendly open to dogs, like, when people don't corral their dog, especially the big dogs, like, they'll be right next to you, like, breathing on
They're
you,
freaking licking
and they have,
you.
like, their water splattering everywhere, like, I cannot stand that, I think it's gross. I'm like, "I'm trying to eat a meal, and, like,
No,
I'm looking
that's
at
where I draw the
your"
line.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a
Rufus is a
fine,
perfect
fine line.
princess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, 100%. I don't know. Interesting. We'll see where they take that.
I know, I know. I wonder if there'll be any, like, pushback or if they just keep them in their room and call it a day. I don't know. And they are gonna have one thing less to complain about. They're increasing their prize money at Wimbledon to a record
Oh,
$85.7 million. So,
Sabalenka. Come on,
yeah,
girl.
hopefully their revenue share for this is a little higher. Um, but good for them. Monaco, I know we missed that
Oh,
since we were off next last week, but Kim Kardashian and Khloe, of course, made their mark, their appearance. Lewis Hamilton came in second.
ugh, wow. That was
He blew
what'd you
her a
think of their
kiss. That was
outfits?
cute.
What did you think
Okay,
of their
I have to
outfits?
say, again,
Horrendous
like,
or
I like them. I really do. For whatever reason, what
the
was Chloe
Kardashians?
yeah, but
Let me
Chloe looked
clarify.
yeah, Chloe looked so much
Oh,
better than Kim. She
okay.
whatever she's doing, she looks great. I thought her outfit was fine. It was Monaco, it's F1. I thought she looked good. I really did. Simple. Kim, what was she wearing?
It looked like toilet paper, like, wrapped around her, you know? I
Awful.
don't
It
know.
was not flattering, it wasn't fitting, and again, there are many times where I'm like, "Okay, is that my style?" No, but she absolutely looks great in it. This was like, I can't even believe somebody would let her show up like that to F1 in Monaco
This
or
is like your
anywhere.
debut as I if we're gonna talk about WAGs, I think the freaking F1 racers' girlfriends and wives
Are
are
elite, like, they're next
elite.
level. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, and so Kim's gonna show up in that at her debut Monaco dating. the
Yeah,
one of
that
the
white,
best, arguably,
like,
racers
cream,
on
like,
the track.
satin thing that was just completely terrible, and then those jeans, like, that jeans and that black top, and it looked like her hair was, like, hadn't been brushed in day like, it was so off for her. I was actually stunned.
It
And
was
how like, again, not I don't like his fashion, and he's obviously so like, I actually need to take back what I said 2 weeks ago about, "Oh, he's not flashy, he's not." I'm like, "Oh my god, now I keep seeing all his, like, purple suits and his jewelry and
who, Lewis
everything popping."
Hamilton?
Yes,
Yeah,
and I'm
I
like
was like,
he's like yeah, exactly.
"Are you
No,
kidding?"
he's so out there, but, I'm surprised he would have even wanted her to wear that, like, none of it fit.
I don't know. Yeah, it didn't match the aesthetic as everybody
No.
else. And also, they were in the paddock and they were the only ones. Did you see them with their big red headphones
Yeah,
on? And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, you're not even in the pit or anything. Like, you're
Right.
literally
There's
have them
no
on.
cars, like,
No
right
one
now. Yeah.
around you has them on. Like, take them off. You look like a clown.
So funny. Yeah, a
So,
lot of it made me laugh, but it was cute. He, like, blew her a little kiss, got second. Then last weekend in Barcelona, I don't think she was there, but he won. Good for him. And the
yeah,
first driver ever to win for Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes, 3 of the greatest teams. It's pretty impressive.
I
Also
guess
shows he's
so.
bounced
I guess you
around. It's
got to
not
give
like
them
he's,
that.
like, given his all, like, Verstappen with Red
Red
Bull
Bull.
not bouncing around, but,
I don't know. I think he spent a lot of time at Mercedes, but whatever.
mhm,
I don't like him. I'll continue to establish that and
yeah.
hate him even more now that he's dating Kim Kardashian, but whatever.
Brings him down.
Have
Yeah,
some
that was
class.
all yeah, exactly. And then World Cup, I have to say, have you been watching?
Okay, yes, yes, I'm gonna preface with yes, and,
Love
shockingly,
it.
because I never
Soccer
watched
fan
soccer.
over here.
Football,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I started watching just due to the fact that, every team they're obviously in the US, every team has, like, a training base camp
Mhm.
throughout the states. Well, guess who's in Austin?
Who?
Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia team, they've been in Austin for the past month and they've taken over the Four Seasons. So I see them every day. I have to walk through them. They're taking over the hotel. They've got security around the hotel at all times, literally at
I'm
all. Even when
sure.
they were just in Miami on Monday, they were still around. I was like, why are you guys here? Like the team's not even inside. So every time they want to go to Q2 because they're practicing over at Q2, they have a giant police escort.
Like a
So
motorcade type
like,
thing.
but it's
Yeah.
bigger than any obviously, F1, it's the hot thing to do. Everybody has their little
Mhm.
motorcade. Theirs is, like, obnoxious. It's, like, 20 freaking police cars. They've got 12 of those freaking big ass buses. They're rolling around. They're crossing over medians. They're just like it's just like a whole scene. So,
I wonder if
anyway,
it's, like, for security or is it every team doing that? Like, in every city?
I don't see the Swedes over up in, like, I think Frisco, Texas doing that, but, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like, I think maybe Saudi
We
Arabia
do know that
just
the Netherlands brought over their orange bus. Maybe that's how they travel.
how funny was that? Yeah. No, and then the Scots over in Boston. I think the whole thing is actually hilarious. But I really yeah. So I've been invested in this World Cup just due to the fact that I get to hang out with the Saudis every single second
Nice.
of my day, which my dad's like, stay away. But but anyway, so yes, I have been watching.
It's so fun. I just feel like it's like the Olympics, but almost even more so. And I know it's just one sport, but I think that and again, I will be the first to say I haven't really been keeping up with it as like actually watching it as much
Yeah,
as I would like. And I'll get on into it more like later on. But I think it's so fun to see all the bars like transform, like set up certain
it is
areas. Like in
fun.
Bend, it
Yeah.
was like, there's all kind of breweries and like places downtown, and they set up these massive
To
big
shoots.
screens and like these washing, yeah, Bend Brewing, and yeah, all
Yeah.
along the river and just so cool and just to see people get excited about their country playing and people wearing their colors and um kind of to see energy around like any sport, but I just feel like something about soccer just like brings out something like so fun and so harmless. Again, there's nothing,
Yeah.
bad going on. Everyone's just so excited. Speaking of the Scots, did you see that they've like drinking Boston out of beer? And like Boston is loving it of all places, like obviously the Irish like to have a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone in Boston likes to drink their beer. Literally like running out, like all the beer taps are like sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. The bar people are like, we've never seen it like this, but like we love that they're bringing this energy and fun and like just good, clean fun.
Well, I swear to God, I've seen 1,000 videos of all the Scots in Boston. I have no idea if there's anybody left in Scotland. Like, they're not a big country. Like, oh my God, are they all in Boston right now? It's absolutely insane. They're all in their kilts, they got their bagpipes going. The
I
energy
know they
is
were
just
like the
immaculate.
Boston like police were like trying to
Yeah.
learn bagpipes with like a bunch
Yeah.
of like Scottish fans. It was so cute. It's just so fun to see. Speaking again of Scots, Rod Stewart, I guess
Oh
sparked
my God.
so much outrage. And I mean, that guy has lived his life, let him live, but he canceled a show in California the day before 40 minutes before the show was supposed to start, and then due to an illness, and then he was seen drinking at the game against Scotland.
Can you blame them? Come
I
on.
can't. That's what I'm saying. Let him live. Like, I guess if I was a diehard fan and I had bought my ticket and I was roaring and ready to go, then maybe I would have been upset too. But
I'm
I
sure
was
they got their
glad that
money
he was
back.
there. Yeah, I was glad he was there enjoying it. Let him go.
I think, yeah, he's, loves that culture, I'm sure, coming from, where is he from? Britain or wherever. So
Yeah, he loved it.
good for him.
Um, and the US doing well. They opened up with a massive game,
That was a
obviously
hell of a
set
game.
viewing records and the best showing ever in a World Cup game as far as goals scored. Scored 4 goals, so that's good for
Just
them.
that last goal, Jesus, that was,
And
just kinda like a FU basically, I feel like.
totally, just so fun. And then they'll play Australia on Friday, which I feel like will be a rowdy game for people to watch. Those Australians, and then Turkey next week. But it's just so I just like to see the countries and the fans and
So, Adam, when we were just in, California, we're going back to California on the 30th in a couple weeks for the 4th and everything as well, but I took him to the Ritz. It's right in, like, Laguna Niguel
Mhm.
slash I say Dana Point, but get this in mind. We get the Saudis over here in Four Seasons, and they get the U.S. soccer team. They're staying at the Ritz, so we're gonna walk around the Ritz when we get there and try to hang out with the
So
U.S. soccer team.
fun.
So we'll cheer them
That's
on then.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they seem to know I saw, Ronaldo clips of him at the Four Seasons in Palm Beach, and I was like, "Well, at least he got to stop there before he had to get to Houston." Like, at least they're checking off good places on their list, these soccer players with their hotels and stops, but
I saw another TikTok video of this girl and she goes, "How funny is it that all these people are just in, or all these teams, these Europe teams are in different places and not even Europe, even,
mhm,
Africa." I learned that, what was it? It was Cape Verde or something. They just played the other day. They're a small island off
mhm.
Africa and they are supposed to be the team that's like the bottom. I don't know. Anyway, I'm really I'm really, blossoming my
You
geography.
really are really leaning into
What's
it.
the
Yeah.
terminology? I don't know. I'm learning a
Mhm,
lot over here.
mhm.
But she was like, "Oh yeah, it's so funny. The Czechs are in mainland Texas or something," and I was like, "Where is that?" Uh, I forget. I don't know.
Midland, probably.
Is it? I
Midland?
don't even know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know why they'd be in
Midland.
Midland, but, um,
It's just
yeah,
funny.
it is funny to see him all over, and then Messi obviously was in College Station for whatever, and then now Kansas City, they played last night, scored his first hat trick for a World Cup, scoring
Oh,
3 goals against Algeria,
he
um,
was emotional.
very, and of course, Brittany and Patrick Mahomes front and center, but that's cool. It's just fun to see, and then I was laughing at the reel you sent me or the TikTok of, Victoria Beckham and, like, that whole, like, montage of little clips of her at David Beckham's
She's
games,
so
and it's
cool.
like she never wears a jersey. Back to my question, who buys a jersey? Who wears a jersey? Victoria Beckham's not wearing her own husband's jersey.
She's too cool to wear Beckham on the
She
back
is
of her. Come
way too
on.
cool. Any jersey. Yeah, so funny, but it was a good little TikTok.
Yeah.
Um By the way, speaking of viewership, and we had brought this up before, I said before the French Open final that I was curious what the viewership was gonna be since both sides, men's and women's, were like nobodies for the most part. Remember, like all the top players were out. The
Yeah.
least watched final in 20 years.
Mm.
The one that did not make the ratings, folks. Kind of wild, but it is what it is. Um, Japan. Their fans amaze me. They're not just in soccer, but other sporting events. You see them stay after to like clean up stadiums or concerts or whatever. I
Yeah.
love to see it. They literally stayed up cleaning this stadium after their match with the Netherlands. And it's just ingrained with them. I guess like from when they're little, they don't leave like one trace of anything in their classrooms and they're just taught to like always clean up from a young age. And I think that's so lovely. And that's
I
why their
wanna
country's
go.
so clean.
I was gonna say I wanna go to Japan so badly. Yeah, I saw them all in the stands with they were, like, waving their little trash bags around, like, ready to, clean up after the game, but just a, classic, classic place. I also saw that when younger kids can travel alone to their school and back and things on I mean, they have, like, a certain color umbrella and they're traveling I don't know, I just thought their culture is something
Very
that we should adapt
organized.
here.
Yes, I know. I think we need to blend a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of
Yeah.
Swiss with, like, the timeliness and the
Yeah.
cleanliness and
Yeah.
the respect. Yeah, we could learn a few things
A lot. Not
about.
me. You and I were
No,
perfect,
no, no,
but
not
the
us.
rest
We're
of
good, but
society,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I did see after the Knicks celebrations, there were some friendly New Yorker boys that were there with
Ooh.
trash bags helping the street cleaners clean up. I thought that was kind because
Good
that
for
probably was a
them.
big mess too to have clean by
Mess.
morning,
I'm
but
sure it was absolutely horrific, so good for them.
yes. Well, upcoming, we have obviously more World Cup. We have men's US Open golf this weekend at Shinnecock in New York. Sixth time it's been held there, which will be fun to
Shinnecock.
watch. I love saying that. Shinnecock. Shinnecockers.
Shinnecock.
But that's a pretty course. It'll be fun to watch. Yankees play tonight. The Knicks, I think Jalen Brunson's throwing out the first pitch. If not all of them will be there,
Oh.
but that's kind of cool. Keep it going. Next parade will be tomorrow. That'll be interesting. They're replacing all the street signs with Champions Way and the blue
Oh,
and orange. So that's going to be rowdy
hopefully I was gonna say, hopefully that doesn't get too rowdy, we'll keep it in check.
for like midday. I guess it's some sort of like must be their statewide test. I don't remember what it is called. But there were a lot of people like, oh, that's unfortunate for kids that like they can't take part in the parade because it's literally on the day of their like statewide testing.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kinda
I,
not fair.
I know.
Are they not out for summer yet? I feel like everybody else is out for summer except for California.
Yeah, West Coast too. Oregon, it was funny seeing all the kids still riding their bikes to school, and
Yeah.
just yeah, um, yeah, it's a little bit later. Um, and then what else? Oh, I skipped over 2 things that were kind of heartwarming. We'll leave on a high note since we didn't hate that much today, but just
No.
yeah,
Just Kim Kardashian and, ghetto
and a
people.
little bit of Taylor Swift and yeah,
Oh,
but it's
Taylor Swift,
okay.
yeah.
But 2 days after the Spurs lost, Wemby and one of his other teammates were at a San Antonio Children's Hospital just visiting patients. That is the nicest thing ever.
That is again, after I watched a bunch of videos of him being a sore loser, I was like, "No. Wow. How did that even let me, sway my mind?" He's such a good guy, so
Such a
very
good
sweet.
guy and could have waited a little longer to do it or whatever. There could have been some excuse or wanting to take time
Yeah.
off, but to just
You're
show
pissed
up
off.
and
Yeah,
be
you're
there and turn families and kids' days around who aren't doing so well. I just loved that. And then nurses at a hospital in New York turned a NICU into
Mm.
NICU, like KNICKU, which is so cute. And they outfitted all the kids in little Knicks hats and bows and just brought
Aw.
cheer and excitement again to the families and the kids. Obviously going through a hard time and the babies don't know it, but just so sweet and cute for the parents. And I just thought that was so, so sweet.
That goes the nurses go above and beyond in general, but that just is probably the sweetest thing I've heard. Little NICU, aw.
Above and beyond. There's something totally special about a NICU nurse. You have to be top of the top,
Oh,
but then also to
yeah.
deal with the emotions of the family and, have that level of care for the babies and just see all of that. I mean, I
Emotional
really have
intelligence. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
just massive respect for them. Um, and then College World Series also continues. We didn't touch on that. My Ducks came here and got absolutely crushed.
Oh, no.
Back to Oregon they went. Fly, fly, fly away. And then Texas lost to Georgia twice. They lost again last night to them, so they are out,
Ooh.
which was kind of funny. Nobody wants
Expected,
to lose to
or
Georgia, but
how's Jason feeling?
Georgia's good. Georgia's good, but, I think Texas probably should have won, but I don't know. You know I just like Texas to lose sometimes. It's just funny. It's literally just funny.
That's what people aren't expecting you to say, so
Exactly. And then the last thing that I need to touch on and ask you about, have you seen Cape Fear or heard about it?
the show,
Yes.
I just saw it on, what's it on, like, Apple? Is it on Apple?
Yes.
I just literally saw it on Apple. Is it good? Should I watch it?
I haven't watched it because I'm not really like a psychological thriller person, but people have said it's so good. Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg did it, so it's obviously like well done. Javier
Okay,
Bardem is the actor who I like,
okay.
and it's supposed to be very good. But I've asked everyone said that I know that has watched it has been like, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it? It's so good. It's so good." But then my first question is it scary? And they're like, "No," because it's not like to pop out at you scary. I think it's just one of those shows where you always think something's bad's gonna happen or
Gonna
something's gonna,
It's
like, pop
this
out and, like,
music
that's yeah,
that's yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and, like, the lighting and, like, um,
it's like
so
Mad Max. You
yes,
know Mad
so
Max? The entire
I
movie, the music, you're on edge.
you're, like, on yeah, exactly, suspense. No, so I have not seen it, but I kinda wanna watch it because I think once I got into it and, like, started following the story, it wouldn't scare me. You probably would know what more to anticipate, but I don't know. So maybe we're gonna have to give that a try.
Okay.
And then
I will
the
too.
other one, Maternal Instinct.
Holy shit, that one's insane. Did you watch
Did
that?
you watch it? No, I'm not sure that I can. And so
You gotta watch it.
Natalie reached out to text me and my dad. She's like, "Do not watch this documentary. It is the most disturbing thing ever." And then Jason watched it. He's like, "You have to." I'm like, "I'm not
You
watching
have
that. Like,
to.
what about that do I want to watch?" So then I looked up the story just to see like what it's about. And
You did that with The Crash too. I mean, this puts The Crash to shame, but still you, like, knew everything. Remember the Sharilla case and everything? This
yes, but yeah,
makes
yeah, I looked up all of
Sharilla
that.
look
Yeah.
normal.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. You were trying to fake this whole like life with this boyfriend so he doesn't break up with you. You fake a pregnancy, like have all these social media posts and like faked doctor records and everything.
Mhm.
And then you kill your friend and cut the baby out?
Yeah. Spoiler alert for anybody, but yeah, it's absolutely insane, and then try to pass it off as your own that you just birthed the baby. It's
Right,
I
and
mean, the
then when it was
girl is
when it like, they asked about it or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, well, it was an emergency, I had to get it
no,
out of
she
her," and
had
then
the baby.
she had
Yeah.
been researching how to give C-sections?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
what?
This girl
And now she's on
is
death row. I mean, that is the
one of,
sickest
like,
thing.
7 women or something it was in Texas, yeah, so one of 7 women. I don't know in the nation or just in Texas, but this girl is batshit crazy,
So was she
and,
crazy before? I mean, you
yeah,
have to be off, but, like
I mean, she didn't have it doesn't sound like she had a lot of friends. She, like, always was trying to remove herself from, like, situations. I know she had a hysterectomy or whatever, so that's why everybody was like, She can't even have a kid," so that's already insane. It sounded like she had 2 kids. What was she, 27? She already had 2 kids, like, previously. So, I mean, the girl was kind of off her rocker, to say the least, but she
oh
fooled a
my
lot of
gosh.
people. She had to be a little like, had to have some charisma, or I don't know, this poor Wade Griffin guy, he just
Right, but I'm trying to say, like,
looked
what did he see in
defeated.
her to begin with? Like, what was she offering or, like, what was she trying to hide that she already needed to hide, you know?
I don't know. The story, it's one of the craziest things I obviously remember when it happened. I saw a lot of clips of it, but I didn't realize that she had faked or killed the other woman in order to get her baby, you know? I was just like, "Oh my god," I thought,
Well,
like, maybe
and
she
did she
stole the
think the
baby from
baby was
somebody,
gonna
or, like,
live? Like, that's,
I
like
don't know. I don't know. Like, that girl is I th
and then she said that
horrific.
it was, like, an emergency and she had to take it like, she was trying to help the friend deliver it, like, as if anyone was gonna believe that, like,
Yeah, the
what?
girl's, like, cut up on the freaking
Like, you
ground. It's
don't
like,
yeah, you
"Dude,
don't call 911, you just try to take the baby out, and, I mean, I
let
cannot
me take
even,
this into
but
my own hands." Yeah.
yes.
No, that's, but yeah, it sounds like in her whole entire life she had lied. She had a coworker that was talking about how she had lost a baby at the time, and the other girl, or what's her name? I don't even know her first name. Taylor, I think her was the first name. And she was just like, oh yeah, relating to the woman saying, oh, I just had my kid pass away too. And it was like, no, you didn't. Like she just like was like a manipulative liar. Her whole life was a lie. So
Wow.
you should watch it. I mean, I know he just kind of went over
Wow.
everything and I told you a lot about it, but it was it made that Mackenzie Shirillo, because that was obviously the last one I'd watched, The Crash, made that documentary look like she was not an angel, but like she was a halfway decent person,
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Any others that you've watched or
I was gonna mention that one because that one was just so insane. Trying to think what else I've watched. No, I know there's a couple ones like that one
Mhm.
that came out. I know there's another Apple one. No, but we're always looking for new ones. I need
Yeah, you
to
should try Cape Fear.
Okay,
Maybe we'll both watch that and we can
okay. We
yeah.
can circle back next week and,
Yeah.
discuss what our thoughts are, if we like it or
Yes.
not.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back next week. Go USA. Go
Yeah,
soccer.
go football.
Football. Yeah.
I always I always think of, what was it? Baron Trump, and he's always like, "Give me my suitcase," or something in that little video, and I'm like, "Football. We're gonna watch the football."
So funny. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Ta-ta. Ciao.
Adios.
Hasta luego.